But how do we keep that priority growing? And what we do to thrive is the complex system of understanding. And as you know, if you are understanding things, you can make aware decisions. And if you are aware, you can make aware actions. And when you do the actions, you can analyze the actions and see what else you can do. But if everything is happening is just in your head, that's where we are not living life. That's we are predicting things that might or might not happen. So today we're going to share this information through the real cases, through the situations that happen to our clients. Of course, we're not going to call any names or any businesses or anything like that. And some of the things we're just combining together just to make it not 100% recognizable, because of course we are working with some very big names. We don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable. But of course we learn a lot from these people, and also we have our own businesses. And in the past, I had a few businesses as well. So our education plus our practical experience and plus all the lives that we help manage to some people, that's what we're delivering today. And every day, every time.
Yeah, yeah. And if you have any questions, let us know, because always it's very important to get the answers to all your questions. And knowing your date of birth, it's much easier for us to give you the best answer because we are professional in giving these kind of answers based on your date of birth. And it doesn't matter how long you have been struggling with all your questions, why is going me in my life and what I really need to do. We're gonna go through like cases and just to combine all this kind of. Okay, I got the call. Okay, can you hear me, Svetlana?
Yes, I can hear you. All good.
Yeah, we're gonna combine all our knowledge on the practical base and also some part that we never described yet.
So we live in a cosmic flow. We come into this world as a spark of life. And that spark of life is part of the whole everything. So as we come into the physical body, the first experience we have is the contraction. And when you're big and expanded and you feel contracted in a small physical body of a child, this is the first experience of not being safe. Because now I feel the boundaries that I didn't feel before. And when I say feel and when I say spark, these words are metaphorical, because we've heard this word soul, spirit. This is who we are when we are not in possession of the physical body. But in this world, on Earth, the physical body is a scaphandre in which we have to survive the harsh conditions, right? We have seasons changing, we have hunger, we have desires. All of those things you're not experiencing as you are just part of the flow. Just like a drop of water in the river is flowing and doesn't know its needs because all needs are being met. We are also, our soul is part of the bigger electrical field, electromagnetic field. All our needs are met. But once we are in the physical body, our needs become very evident because physical body, which we did not possess before, now have the needs. And in front of you is this metaphorical figure, a great mother, which is the universe. And then we are in the body of the real mother, which is now a human being with unsafety, because now her body is changing. And she cannot produce as much energy because you are in her body. It's a little heavy and it's a little different. And the energy is dropping and the material world is crashing on her. And that's what the first level of life that we experience is about. Everything is changing and crashing, and I need to understand how can I deal with that. So in this figure, you see all the 9 numbers that we've been talking about. And of course, there are more to life than 9 numbers, but we are just structuring it in a way that you can understand that the life comes into contracted state. And our whole life is about climbing the ladder of safety, bringing the energy with it, opening up ourselves to life, and then through the energy that rises up to connect to this bigger field, this field of the spirit, and expand and let go of the limitations that we experience as the little drop of water. Imagine you take a drop of water and you put it on the ground. No longer it can flow, but also it cannot satisfy its needs on its own. It can wet this one little spot of the earth, but it cannot produce the rain. But when the water evaporates, creates a cloud, and then drops down as many different drops, now together we can create a flow. The river is back to its flow. So this is where the business life begins. This is where one person or one businessman cannot really do anything if his body feels out of sync with all the rest of the world and all the rest of the energy. His one body collapses, the whole business starts collapsing. So the body will always tell you, I am contracted or I am expanded. I am relaxed or I feel tension. And when decisions are made out of that tension, out of feeling unsafe, the whole business is being affected. So how do we deal with this first world? Real cases, anything that you've experienced with your business?
Yeah, I just really want to mention that our body is very important friend, the first helper. Yeah, and this is not secret that before the 33, for us it's much easier to achieve our goals because we can do whatever you want. You can sleep 2 3 hours and do your best on the next day. But once we get this kind of a scale of 33, we become a bit like a more conflict persons. We lose a lot of energy, and that's why to work on our body is very important and really understand this kind of layers. Yeah, because with the real people, when they come and Vasily, I have an idea. Yeah, I really want to create a business, or I have already my business, but I cannot scale up, and I cannot to grow. And where's my problem? And of course, I can invest my money. I already paid a lot of money for different coaches and all the kind of suggestions that I got it from them. They really didn't help me. And what we start from, we take a date of birth and we look on physical body of the person. And right away, there's no like bad or good, guys. Your body can show us right away where you are on this level and how you really connect with your body. And it doesn't mean that you have to be on the poster as the perfect one, but your energy, the flows of your energy in your body will show you how you can manage this, how you can use these energies in order to grow. Because we all have this kind of problems to delegate. For example, I cannot delegate, I do everything by myself. But at the beginning, I really wanted to create my business because I really wanted to stop working for someone, for Uncle Ben. But after 2 3 years, you find yourself working for yourself, for your clients, for everybody, for suppliers, and you're really exhausted. And that's why, like knowing this on through this poster, it's very important to understand that behind our physical presence on this earth, we have this kind of, let's say, magical stuff because we really love this kind of magical approach, and really important to understand how to work this. And what we start with the body. We start working with our body, and the first exercise that I really provide to my clients is start walking. Walking is a very simple exercise, but it helps us to boost our energies in our body on the level of our body. Because on the bottom of our column, there is like place where our energy is like in a sleep position. I mean, is not active. And in order to wake it up, we really need to start working and working on our bodies. And if you really don't want to work on your body, we are not starting working with you because this is the first rule. Your body is really shows us how you work on your business as well. And that's why going through all these kind of layers will show us, is it going to be easy for you to delegate all kind of process in your business operational stuff, or it's going to be always, oh, I cannot, it's difficult, I don't understand. And it's going to be clear as your day, you can see all the process moments, but you cannot delegate it. Why? Because you don't have energy and you don't have the competence. And that's why we start with the body at the first.
And where you can connect those two is when you don't feel safe, when your health does not have all the elements that is required for your energy to be active. And nutrition, for example, the movement, the water, the exposure to sun, and exposure to air, all of those elements are necessary for you to start growing. And in our poster, we have this little seed, and that seed needs to be energized. If you do not have that energy to energize the seed, like Vasili explained, it stays at the coccyx. If it stays at the coccyx, the needs of the first world, which is the world of the child, the first 9 years, it's about to eat and to sleep. And find the relaxation in the sleeping is like going back to six-star paradise in your mother's body. And when you are out of this paradise, you have to deal with the world. And the world is loud. There is a lot of light and a lot of darkness. There are people in there. I used to say, I trust the universe, but people, a big question mark. And that is why this need for control of all the material world comes from not feeling safe. When you feel safe, when you, for example, were born in a family that is very calm and loving and gives you all the attention, and maybe mom doesn't run to work every morning, and in this world you feel that I'm okay, everybody's attention is on me, I don't have to worry about anything, then you can start grow and experience and explore. But if you're constantly in charge of your own safety, and you're screaming because nobody shows up to change your diaper or to feed you, or later on you're asking and there's 5 other kids in the family or even 2 other kids in the family that's screaming with you and nobody hears you, of course, when it comes to the second function of this world, how do I proceed in life, this function could be distorted, just like Vasili was explaining. To ask for help, to delegate, to explain what you want becomes a whole big deal. And if that is a big deal, then there is no bridge between you and other people. Some people cannot even express what they want because they feel nobody understands me. Even if I ask for what I want, I will never get what I want. And there is another thing which happens a lot. You give your children, or you get as a child, so much more than you need that you cannot process it. When you are not even ready to play with the toys, all of a sudden everybody comes to visit and bring gazillions of toys. You are covered in toys and your sensory experience is overwhelmed. So then in life, you will never say what you want because there's so much, it's so hard to choose. All of those little things are state-based decisions. So what do we do when we're already in adult life and we're already a business owner or a strategist of the business, or you're responsible for certain processes in the business, if you are an employee, for example, how do you overcome that bridge between the safety, I'm okay, and I'm okay with other people around me? Because this is the first interaction when the little child is asking for something and the needs are not satisfied. And as a child, you couldn't satisfy your needs. But now you can. So right now, you can look into your first world, how my body feels, where I lack the energy, what do I need to do about it? Is there a checkup that I need to undergo? Is there a coach I need to find? Is there a gym I need to find? Maybe I need to rest and sleep, because some people are so exhausted. If you let them sleep, they'll sleep 3 days without waking up. So what exactly is mine? When my body says stop, I stop. Because this is the basic safety. When you are older and you need to pee and there is a meeting, you do not go. And that is the reflection of how you were pushed to the limits when you were a child. When you would postpone your own need because other people would not approve or the system does not approve. But the truth of the matter is, this very basic need also connects to the strategy of the business, because sometimes the business is not satisfying your needs. And this is the basic. And then we can go to third world and create the strategy for the business to satisfy the whole world. But if the first need is not satisfied, you will constantly collapse, and the health will show you what's going on. So you're gaining weight all the time. I don't eat anything, but I'm always gaining weight. I need more solidity. There is not enough solidity in me because I cannot make my decisions. It's unsafe. If you're always exhausted and losing weight, is that you are over-exhausting your system. You're pushing yourself way too much. So the body always shows. If you're hysterical most of the times, I just had a manager of the business who is crying on every second word. How can you manage the business? I asked. We had a session, and she says, well, I manage business very well because it's not my business and I'm not as emotional. So if you are emotional about the business of your life, how can you manage anybody else's business? And then as we unfold throughout the consultation, she explains that she goes to people and she asks them questions, how they function and what happens. And that's how she learns about the business. And it's been a few months. And what did you learn? They don't want to share. So the importance of that first world, I am safe, no matter what other people are willing or not willing to do for me. And I manage the process. And if the process a few months later does not give me any result, I change the process. And when I feel that I'm capable of making these decisions and I'm capable to deliver that decisions in a way that somebody understands and listens and follows, only then I feel the energy rising. Because if I see the futility of my efforts, no matter how much I put time and effort to it, I do not get the result. That means my process is wrong. I've chosen the wrong process, or the elements of the process is not working. How can I be fulfilled and feel energized? Of course, I would need the energy from somebody else, right? But nobody can give you energy. There is no coach that can, you sit in our field, you get energized. 5 minutes later, boom, your battery is no longer working. You have to learn how to make your own energy. And that is the competency 7, which belongs to that first level.
Yeah, I still remember when I started working with a group who was born on the 6th, 15th, and 24th. And for them to be in a great shape, it's very important to get enough sleep through the night. And if you feel yourself not energized during the day, don't be ashamed. Like, go and get a sleep for just at least for 15 minutes. And I have like two business owners. They started like using this approach, and their results just like improved very, very fast. Because after 20, 30 minutes of short sleep, they really could do a lot of things. And for them, it was surprise. I said, yes. Other people, they can work. For example, who was born on the 8th, a 17 or 26, they can work like long hours. But for you guys to be in a great shape, you have to get enough sleep. And this little advice helped them to improve the communication skills because they were born in full emotions. And when you cannot control the emotions, you go to work with your people, with the partners, with your employees. You don't have enough energy. You start like yelling on them, like do this, and you're gonna lose your company, your structure right away, your people. And we have a lot of like business owners. Vasily, I cannot like keep my team in a great shape and working very good because they really run out for me. And that's why we have this kind of suggestions. Yeah, body, this is the first point on our first world. Yeah, guys, just to take stop for a while and sit and think what I'm doing for myself. Couple days ago, I had a stream on TikTok, yeah, and I had a business owner from Germany. The guy he was explaining, Vasily, I've been running the business for 10 years, and something is going on right now. I cannot gain the same money, all this kind of big changes over here. I'm losing my energy. I don't know what to do. And he was born on the group nine, number 9, full emotions also, like actions, emotions. And I told him, start walking. Ah, Vasily, is it real? Yes, start walking because you really need to get this energy from your body. And thanks God, I had another business owner who was in spring on my coaching sessions. And I invited him to share his experience. And the guy, he also was 9. And it was just incredible combination. He was like, "Oh, no, you really need to start walking. You're gonna see all the kind of improvements in your thoughts, in your ideas. Start walking with your body." And I said, guys, thank you so much. And we went like further in our stream. And I got another guy who just joined and said, Vasily, I really want to give you feedback. And I said, okay, let's go. And Svetlana, it was so interesting to hear him because he told me, Vasily, I am so thankful for you because in my spring, when I texted and I said, Vasily, I don't see any great finals in my life. I am exhausted. There is no energy. I think this is the end of my life. And you just told me, his name also Vasily. He just told me, Vasily, grab the glass of cold water because he was also the group number 9, cold water and walk. Cold water and walk. And you cannot imagine how I improved my life. He was sharing his story. It's just incredible, so like interesting, like adjustments we can do with our body when we have like this kind of desire to improve our situation. And that's why first world, it's the base. This is foundation. Yeah, because we live in material world. This is our material body. That's why pay attention to it.
And if you cannot control the processes in your body, which you cannot most of the times,
No?
how can you try and control the processes in your business? It's the same thing. We cannot control anything, but we can observe and we can see where the energy is lacking. Is it the lack of competency? Is it the lack of health and nutrients in the body? Is it some elements or some vitamins or some proteins or carbs or fats are missing? The body will compensate. And the energy centers throughout our body will start stealing the energy from each other.
Yeah.
It's like in a family or in a team, business team. Somebody is sick, other people have to pick up the slack. It's the same thing. If something is not working, you have in each of those centers, you have 3 architects. We're now talking about first world. So there is an architect that is building your life based on safety. The other architect is creating the blueprint based on how you can notice and understand the material process of manifestation. Where are you lacking things? Where you are building the house forgetting about mortar, how you build the house forgetting about water or about bricks or sand, the house will be wobbly. And the third architect is the one that lights up the bulb. That's where the energy illuminates that process and gives it a methodology that allows you to see not only the elements of the process, but how those elements have to fit together and what how much energy you need to insert in it. Because to regulate the process of your life through the sleep takes nothing but your willingness to lay down. But regulate your life through the conversation with another person, so creating agreement, например, takes so much more energy because this conversation requires to build the relationship and to open the communication channels, which is in a different world. It's not in that first world. In this first world is the child who is still very much dependent on the parents. It's your body is very much dependent on you. You are the parent, you are an adult, you are the mother and the father, and you also are a child. And therefore, there is a conflict. Let's go to the gym. No, I don't want to. It's happening all the time. Let's eat some ice cream. No, you have to eat the protein. It's happening all the time. And our job in this first world to understand the seed of life is the gift of life. It's been given to you already, and you are already having the roots, because that seed is at the root of your body, the coccyx. Now you need to energize and move the seed into growth. And the root is pumping the energy and pumping the energy. But if you are not moving, that energy stays where it is, and the growth is not happening. But if you start moving, that pumping goes to build the trunk, the core of your body. That's when you go to the gym and you exercise, and then somebody tells you something and you are off your path. It's because you don't have the core. I am safe no matter what other people think. I know what I need, what kind of process I need to stay safe, and I know how to move the energy through my body. Once that happened, you materialize the first world. I am safe and I am whole and complete as a child. I know what my responsibilities as a child, as a body is. I know I don't have any other responsibilities. I do not resolve the issues for anybody else but myself. This is the first world. If you did not master this resolution of everything that you need for yourself, do not go to relationship, because the relationship world is about coexistence. It's the heart of coexistence, the pink world, the second world, with the 4, 5, and 6 competencies. So if the basic needs are not met, you meet the basic provider for your needs, and you call it a husband. Some people create a child and they call it a provider of my needs for love, for example, and connection. Or you build a business, and now the business should provide for you. But the business cannot provide for you if you're a child. Children don't create businesses. So you have to go through the next level, next 9 years. And throughout this nine years, very interesting thing happened. Around 14, you feel nobody understands you. Nobody loves you. Nobody cares for you. And you want to love everybody. That's where you find a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And that's the first connection that is happening on the need level. Usually is very happy in the beginning and very heartbreaking at the end. So to move into this world, we need to move into understanding that before you can become you and connect to people from position of who I am, what my needs are, you need to separate from that world, the first world, where you're dependent on your parents. And that's why all the conflicts are happening, because parents don't want us to separate. But by 18, you're an adult. And that's where you can have true desires of the heart met if you're separate. But how many of the business owners are separate? Again, a case. I am working with one of the people who are having a wife as his mother. And if it's unfamiliar to you, great, maybe you've seen people like that. He doesn't remember, there is a high pressure. He doesn't remember to take the medicine. He overexhausts himself, of course, that's normal for the business owner. He is constantly on the phone, the headphones are always in his ears or hanging off his neck. So he's like this and like this. And he's losing the eyesight and hearing, because this position of your neck and constant stream of information. And he says, I need that. It's very important for me. I need to know what's happening in the world, and I need to be on alert because somebody can call, maybe my children or my wife or whatever. And so he relies on his wife to take care of him 100%. And the wife is exhausted as well, because nobody can satisfy your needs. You are the one who knows. But if you cannot remember a basic thing about yourself and you rely on somebody else, how can you remember what your employees or what your business needs? So the business structure has the same 3 worlds. Your body structure has the same 3 worlds. And the competency world, in which you learn and practice things that you need for life and business, are the same. If you master one world at a time, if you understand what we're talking about right now, if you look at the picture and you say, wow, I have a seed that grows without water, sun, or any basic needs fulfilled, Forget about collaboration in the business. You will have emotional discomfort, the waves, tsunami of emotions. The need for belonging will not let you say yes to right projects and people. It will not allow you to say no. You will be a child. And before that first world is resolved, do not move to the next world of coexistence because you'll be sacrificed. And who will sacrifice you? You. Don't blame anybody else.
Yeah, yeah. And pushing your business without like having this kind of second world like active, it's impossible. Yeah. And that's why working with the body, we're raising up our energy. And there's chance, big chance when you open your heart chakra, yeah, you have this opportunity to build these connections, collaborations, because all the kind of big businesses, they have the kind of big teams. Yeah. In our world with AI approach, of course, you can have one genius sitting and working as a business. All right. But this is like small, like little chance. Yeah. I mean, small chance for us to have this kind of experience. But in our approach, we're working with real people. You really need to have this kind of second world active in a great way. Because when you have the heart chakra closed, you cannot communicate in right way with your team workers, with your partners, with your colleague, because always you're gonna be just fighting for your rights. And that's why you have to really pay attention. You're right or rich. You're right or you have a great health. You're right or you have a great relationship. It's always connected with on the second world here.
Right. And this second world is about relationships. The first world is about health and energy. And this is the world where you have the priorities based on
Yeah.
what you are, and you love who you are because all your needs are satisfied in the first world. And who do I love? Who do I work with? I make a choice. I choose. Even if you're not a business owner but an employee, you still have a choice who you're with and what is the environment you're choosing for yourself and how comfortable it is for you. How collaboration gives you the sense of belonging and emotional comfort. And if it's not, what can I do for it? How can I raise the energy in this area? Because what is open heart? It's the physical heart not being compromised by the emotional overwhelm and unsafety. Then you open this castle inside has a drawbridge. You open that bridge and you invite people in. But if you are scared of miscommunication, misunderstanding, not enough energy, not enough skill to communicate, not enough skill to create comfort for yourself, then of course your priority would be to be alone, just like Vasily explained. You sit with AI and all the business happens in your head and on your screen. And for some people it's enough. But to be fully expressed in this world, you do need other people. And in the second world, you learn how to communicate and how to create comfort for yourself and how to love what you do and who you are in the team and in the family. Because when you are radiating love for yourself and what you do and for your environment, then you can love people around you. Because now it's not the love, I love you. And if you do this, I love you even more. If you don't do this, I hate you. I have a business owner in my family. He's only 3-year-old, but he owns the whole family. Everybody is serving that king because he's the loudest and he talks like a king and everybody listens. Why? Because he knows how to manipulate people. Emotional manipulation. I love you. I love you so much. And 5 minutes later, I hate you. I hate you. And you want, and he's so handsome and funny that you always want him to love you. You don't want him to hate you because then he's really loud. And so the child knows. But then later on, we lose that ability to, I'm not talking about emotional manipulation, but emotional comfort is where you connect with people. And as a suggestion in that second world, take yourself out of the equation. Do not get so involved with everybody. Poor people, I need to serve them, I need to help them. Again, real case, a business owner that is constantly involved in somebody else's life as a savior, and how much money goes into it and how much personal time. And some people even visit that business owner in his home and taking up his time. So to know your boundaries is important to open your heart. You cannot open your heart when there is no boundaries, because then you always have a bunch of people in your heart marching and doing whatever they want. What you need is the calm space, the sea of tranquility, and then people come to that retreat willingly. So take yourself out of equation. First of all, mentally. Second of all, what this emotion, oh, that is anger. What is this emotion? Oh, this is hunger. It's not hunger about me or anger about me or sadness about me. It's just somebody's sad and somebody's hungry and somebody's happy. And when you understand that your connection is not through how can I save it or how can I fix it, but your connection, how can I give it a space so that person, that business, that thought can evolve. Take yourself back. On a physical level, take yourself back. Don't talk like this. Give them the space to come. That's what the open heart is about. And then this is the most important thing in our life, is to build relationship. Notice the word building. That doesn't come from the natural open-hearted I love you.
Yeah.
You constantly have to work on it. You have to build that structure, and it collapses and you keep building and it's collapsing. So in this world, this number 5, communication, and number 6, comfort, and number 4, priority. I want you, Vasili, to elaborate on that, please, because you have a masculine approach to that. What does it mean to build relationships?
All
If it's
right.
necessary, ever.
Yeah. This is the hottest topic these days, how to build a relationship, because we really don't want to build it in the right way. That's why we really need to understand, yeah, we have all this kind of energy is coded in our date of birth in order to build the greatest relationship with everybody, because all opportunities they come from other people. And this is our first like task to build this great relationship. We really need to raise our energy in order to be able to understand, to get this kind of understanding. We're already talking about the third world, yeah, understanding. I really need to understand what I'm doing, what results can I get right now. And in order to build the greatest relationship, you have to raise your energy. This is the first thing. The second thing, you really need to understand we really have like 9 different type of thinking. That's why we invite you to go deeper in details. What does it mean? Digital psychology. What does it mean? Your date of birth. What does it mean? The date of birth of my partners, clients, family members, in order to better to understand them and build this relationship through adequate approach. That's why we're talking about like to be adequate in our world. And of course, for those who have this number 5 in the date of birth, and I know Svetlana, you have this kind of 2 5s, yeah? I mean, this is a greatest opportunity to learn something from you, because I don't have number 5. It took time for me, like a little bit to get this kind of adequate communication. And that's why, I mean, with little comfort, to go with the comfort, with the energies, this is the big chance when you're gonna build your connections and relationship with all kind of people around you, in order not to lose your energy. Because every time when I'm not agree with you, you're gonna start fighting with me. And the same case with me. If I'm not agree with you, I'm gonna start fighting. And I have a lot of business owners, the partners, they come after like 2 3 years being together, they don't understand anymore each other. And when we sit and we see their date of birth, and we can see exactly their years, personal years, common years, and all the kind of communications through the years, and we can show exactly what we really need to pay attention in order to keep going in the right way. Because when you start earning the first money, you always have this kind of thoughts. Oh, I'm working more than you. Ah, I am more responsible than you. And we start fighting with all our partners. And this is a big time these days. guys, we have all the kind of knowledge that can help us to go through this kind of second world easier on the first or on the third floor world, because we really need to get this understanding what's going on in my life and why I experiencing this kind of life right now, and what I really need to do in order to understand. This is like we're already touching the third world.
Right. And this knowledge is practical, just like Vasily explains, because in a team or in a family or within your body, the same 9 architects are building that relationship. And what you just said, very important, that when you do not communicate, when you cannot feel comfortable, you fall back into the first world and you fight. This is your safety, this is your energy, this is my process, and you disturb my process and you start fighting. But when you understand this person is like this, and that person is like this, and that person is like this, you have a choice. You can employ this person or not. You can be part of this business as employee or not. There is no need to fight, because you cannot fight that which is already there. We have a picture now, in the third world. The crown of humans' evolution is the neocortex. Now we know how things should be. No, we don't. We have an illusion. We have a subjective reality that tells us this is how things should be, and it's based on my ego, on my story, on my experience, on my biography, on my geography. But the other person has a different picture. That's the problem. So 9 people come to the team, 3 people come to the team, 2 people come into relationship, 2 different pictures, 9 different pictures, 25 different pictures. When you have all these different pictures, you have to align them to something. And then the mission becomes an important thing. Your personal mission, which is also part of your birth date, all the numbers in your date of birth summarized together, brought to the single digit, is your mission. That mission kicks in at 33. Vasily likes to talk about it a lot, because I know that he works a lot with the young people on the brink of that. I also saw it so many times, and especially the most amazing thing, when people feel the mission kicked in at 33 and they go until 50 and not fulfill that mission, because they're still trying to get safety from that first energy, and I will not change my profession, and I will not change the people I'm with. And sometimes it's impossible, because some energies align naturally and some people cannot align, period. So building and fighting is not helping. Understanding does, because building and fighting is the first world on safety, and it's a very low energy of survival, and it's about 20 or 30 hertz, and it's about shaming, blaming, complaining, or being scared. When you get angry and fight, it's already a resolution, because you feel more energized, but it's not enough energy. When you go to the second world, I love you, I need you, I want you, it's a desire. It's 100, 125, it's a desire. The state of love is I am authentic, because I love who I am understanding who I am, therefore I can understand you, and most importantly, I see you, I hear you. I'm not seeing and hearing the picture I have in my head. I see and hear you in the objective reality of your and my existence. And through the second world, I become comfortable with the idea you will never change. I am okay with that. And if I cannot align with who you are through the state of love, I love myself enough to make a choice to be with you or not to be with you. Because to live and to be are 2 different energies. To live is the first world. To be is the second world. I allow myself to be is the second world. And then in the third world, I rise my energy high enough, I allow myself to create what I want, not what you want or request from me, not what I owe you, because the energy of owe, you take a loan from your relationship. I will do it for you, therefore you have to do it for me. That's not a state of love. It's number 5, transactional. I sell you my idea and you do it for me. You make myself comfortable, but I love you, therefore you have to do it. But I love you, I love you. No, I love myself. And I do everything that I love. And as a benefit, you get to be with me in a state of love. And when I'm in a state of love, I'm very cool, but I'm in a state of anger, you don't want to come near. That's the true story of me.
Yeah. And we just share with you guys the technology of life, the new way, a revolutionary way, the easiest one to understand how to connect all these worlds inside of you, the first, second, and third ones, and how to balance it everything in order to grow your business, in order to to build the greatest relationship. Because like we have to enjoy this kind of, somebody says like short time on this earth. Someone else like it's enough. I'm okay. I'm ready to go. It doesn't matter. We really need to experience this greatest of this life here through our emotions, through our life, through the high vibration like energies. And it's very tough. It's not easy to leave all the kind of low vibrations stage, like when you really don't like the next day, when you're not waiting for the next day, when you're not waiting for another people to meet and have this collaboration because you don't have energy.
Right. And I want to give you one final thought, that what we're talking about is not just the beautiful picture and ideas. It's functions. It's how your body functions. And if you are not properly functioning, just like any mechanism, you will break one day. And the health, which is a base of your foundation of your existence, will not be to support your existence. The relationship will also break when you do not understand who you are and you're trying to be who other person wants you to be, just so
Yeah.
they don't call you egoist, just so they can say I love you, which is not the state of love, but the state of transaction and possession. You do this for me, I'll do this for you. It's very transactional, and it will never end up well, because very rarely after age, let's say 56, when the next 9 cycle begins, people are so much inspired by doing something for as a request to satisfy somebody else's needs. At this level, we want to really live fully, because at some point we understand we are mortal. Even if you live 150 years, at some
Yeah.
point you are mortal. And understanding the mortality through the first center, safety, is extremely important, because if I exist in the blink of the eye of the universe blinking, and our life
Yeah.
is gone, what do I do so I can experience 100%, 200% of that? And what do I do? I find the people that create drama. Woo, roller coaster of life. Now I can feel, now I can experience, now my body feels alive, now I fight, now I hate, now I love. And there is nothing wrong with your ability to travel emotional ladder and be in first world, second world, third world, and simultaneously be present in all of that. Why? Because that's what life is about. Life is not about I accomplished something, now I have that status, I am married, I have children, I have grandchildren, I have house, I have car, I have a place to live, and I have 3 books. That's not a destination. We are in a process of experience. The money that we will talk about, 2 more spheres we didn't cover today, important spheres of life, as money and creativity. It all comes together. When your system is working, there is no separation between the worlds. You're one whole and complete being, and that's what we're striving for. And as you go home after this broadcast, I want you to have that story in your head. You just sit down, close your eyes, and imagine that you are walking down the street, and right there is a crocodile. And then think how and what you will feel, experience it in the body, write a story about it, and next time, write it down under this video. What did you feel and what your story is about? Or better yet, connect personally, because through that story of you meeting the crocodile, all your 9 centers and all your 3 worlds will light up. And even if you don't talk to us, talk to yourself, understand yourself. How that crocodile looks, what does it do, what do you do, where do you go, what your conversation is about, if there is a conversation. Maybe this crocodile is not even talking. Everything that you've experienced will be a great story of that poster that we shared today. Till next
Yeah.
time, well, I share the
Yeah.
second part of your story.
Yes, and remember about mortality and push away your morality and live your best life. Ciao.